Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne and Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand have announced that they are heading to Mexico City this week, and they're expected to hold talks with the Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum. CBC's Tom Perry has more on the trip and what the ministers are hoping to accomplish.
Well, Natasha, this was first reported by the Globe and Mail that Anita Anand and François-Philippe Champagne would be traveling to Mexico City, where they're expected to meet with Claudia Sheinbaum, Mexico's president. This is about building up bilateral trade relations between Canada and Mexico at a time when they're facing some pretty significant turbulence from here in Washington and the administration of U.S. President Donald Trump. So this will be about building bridges, maybe comparing notes about how the two countries are dealing with Donald Trump and the Trump administration. Our colleagues at Radio-Canada managed to talk to Minister Champagne about what he hopes to accomplish on this trip. Here's some of what he had to say.
We've been saying that we want to engage further with Mexico, a strategic partner. Very important as well in the context of the USMCA, Canada and Mexico share a lot. We want to diversify market. We want to look at exports. We want to look at how we can do more together.
So the ministers are expected to be in Mexico City for the next 2 days. Well, they're taking part in meetings. As I say, sources are telling CBC News that this could be laying the groundwork for a meeting between Prime Minister Mark Carney and the Mexican president. Carney, of course, has met with President Sheinbaum before at the G7, spoken to her many times as well. So again, this is all about trying to lay more groundwork between these two trading partners who are trying to deal with a very unpredictable senior partner, if you will, in the United States, as they're both trying to navigate really the unpredictability of Donald Trump and his trade policies.
Well, speaking of that unpredictability, Tom, where do things stand in terms of the trade right now between the United States, Canada, and Mexico?
It's all a little bit up in the air. Of course, the Trump administration has been talking about striking trade deals with all of its trade partners. Donald Trump had set this August 1st deadline last week to reach a deal with Mexico and Canada. Neither country got a deal. Mexico got a 90-day reprieve. Canada, not so fortunate. Of course, we saw U.S. tariffs on goods not covered by the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade deal go from 25% to 35%. Now, we did hear from Dominic LeBlanc, the minister responsible for Canada-U.S. trade, saying that he expects Prime Minister Carney and President Trump to speak in the next couple of days. Of course, the Prime Minister looking to work out some kind of deal with the U.S. president.
CBC's Tom Perry reporting from Washington.